Yeah, we gotta talk about it. Fight World, what's up? It's the man. Hey, we upset. 50,000 grand, that's disrespect. Yeah. Shout out to Robert. He said that's it. He's a hell of a fighter. ESPN just don't market him right, but he still got a big payday. We're gonna talk about it. You know the numbers aren't official, and who knows if they'll even come out officially. Ego the fam is here watching. Oh yeah, we gonna get started in this. You know, I really want to start off by saying thank you for helping me on this journey. We really getting somewhere in this boxing game, and I hope everyone sees it and feels it. We just growing every day. You know, it's getting easier and easier to make our way and to make sure we stay and make our points heard. So thank you guys. Hey, 50,000 grand, that's disrespect. Oh, media, they upset. Man, they gonna just keep letting me get right all year, I guess. Hey, we got the fire news. For fire, man. We burning tires, man. Burning rubber. Let's get it. YouTube is slacking on the notification, but it's okay though. You know what I'm saying? This is just a throwaway stream. Not like that. We're gonna talk about some good shit, but I don't have to do this. I could just chill. But I wanted to give y'all another one because I wanted to talk about we at it, this year. We're gonna talk about the different shit going on. Triple G fired Abel. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. You know, there's different ways to look at that. I made a couple of videos about it. Check it. ESPN want to push Loma and Fury, doing a disservice to Crawford because they're hella biased. See? Egos are... Man, listen, I told y'all. New media shit. New media shit. You know what? And this is the thing. Is like... I normally don't even do this, but I'm going to tell you this. I was actually going to cover Crawford versus Khan. I covered Crawford's last 5 fights, but every time when Crawford is fighting in New York, I don't get credentialed. So Top Rank did not even approve the credential for the Crawford Khan fight. I was going to go to it, but I'm glad I'm glad the way it turned out. I'm glad I didn't. But see, this is the problem. This is what this is part of what's wrong with the company. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I didn't get they didn't say anything. I covered Crawford's last few fights, his last 5 fights or whatever. But for some reason, this one, they were full or whatever. So on top, and I'm an ESPN Plus affiliate from Disney. And then they wonder why they, you know what I'm saying? And then they wonder why. They wonder why the promotions, and I think Crawford's a terrific fighter, but I mean it don't matter to me, bro. I am boxing, so me being at their events is actually benefiting them. I'm not gonna say it doesn't benefit me, but at the very least, it's mutually beneficial. So they got people in charge at Top Rank, approving credentials. Never had a problem before. I covered from Jeff Horn to I went all the way to Omaha for Ndongo fights. I was out there for Ray Beltran fights. I went back out there for Jose Benavidez. But then he's fighting Khan on pay-per-view and that changes anything. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. And then they wonder why they're missing out on certain markets. Like, see, my channel is pretty universal. I got different people, but also I touch different markets. You know what I'm saying? Like, minorities come to my channel, not just, not any just one group of people. I like hip hop music and shit like that. So people who watch rap battles and people who like movies and all types of people come to my channel. And then you don't have me at your event, fine. Like I said, I'm glad I didn't go when it's all said and done, because just how it played out. I would have, and you have to understand, for me, I live in Cali. So I would have been flying to New York, nothing too crazy happened during fight week. And then it ended, unfortunately, Crawford was, whooping on him. And then he pretty much pulled a no mas. So that actually saved me that they didn't approve the credential for that particular fight. So it doesn't hurt me, especially in situations like when the fight doesn't play out to be like some, like what it was supposed to be. And beyond me being at the fight, ESPN didn't really cover they didn't really. It's crazy. I keep telling you what they doing to black fighters, and people act like the real recognize real. Most people see where I'm coming from. You get them credentials for Spence pay-per-view though. Yeah, and I was ringside for Spence pay-per-view. See, that's what I'm saying. They treat YouTube media different. And see, it's crazy. Like how you treat YouTube media, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you, like a YouTuber, the people who are hard working for the PR or credential people, they should know who's popping and who's not popping. Because there's people who write for, like, the Boxing Bugle, or some crazy shit like that, the Boxing Bugle that nobody's really in tune with. And then they wonder why their events, aren't as big as, but you treating it like it's a secret society. That's what I said. I am boxing. When I go to people's event, I'm not even trying to sound cocky. I'm not trying to gloat. When I go to events, they typically do better, because, I'm one person, but I try my best. When I'm in New York, I'm in Vegas, I'm doing live streams. Hey, I got to go to this weigh-in. People are like reminded, okay, the weigh-in's coming today. Remember when I was in Brooklyn and I was like, yeah, I'm about to go to this Deontay Wilder press conference. So people knew to check the press conference. So, ESPN boxing, I understand that they have other sports that, they might be more vested in. But for Terrence Crawford, for him and Khan was supposed to be a big name. Now, just keep this in mind. Bob Arum's not confirming the numbers. He's like, I don't know, ESPN will tell the numbers or some shit. But the rumor is from trusted industry, like Michael Woods and different people in the industry. He said he has some connects that know a thing or two. He works with Everlast, I think, has a podcast. He follows me on Twitter, and I seen he was like talking. He's like, basically, I know sources. He has Bob Arum's number, and Bob Arum wouldn't confirm. But anyway, his sources said that it was less than 200,000, much closer to 150,000 for Crawford Khan. See, new media right now. New media. This is precisely the type of stuff that I'm telling you about. New media, we control the narrative. It is over. These companies need to start investing in the right things. American fighters. Give the fighters the credit that they deserve, right? Promote the right way. See, they're willing to say Lomachenko is number one on pay-per-view. He's the next Ali, and he's still not, like, just listen to it. Listen to the type of cosign that Lomachenko is receiving from ESPN and Bob Arum and Top Rank. He's Muhammad Ali. ESPN, Dan Rayfield said he could, at this rate, he could beat Floyd or give him a hellish time. These types of things. Saying he's number one pound for pound every year, every quarter when they vote the pound for pound list. They doing all this, and Lomachenko still isn't this huge, popular Floyd Mayweather-esque star. It says they'll give so-and-so a credential and nobody respects or cares about what he has to say, but won't give you and DB in the past, and you guys are fire in the boxing street. That's what, like I said, I'm not, at this point, it don't bother me. It don't bother me. If you don't give me a credential for your event or someone's mad, I'm a professional. I'm a businessman. I'm a professional. Me covering your event does you a service too, because there's a lot of people asking stupid ass questions. I never, go out of my way, ask stupid ass shit all the time. And, so it's all about knowing your worth. If Top Rank didn't want to give me a credential for Crawford Con, so be it. I save money. I just saved $100 by switching to Geico on car insurance. I don't know, and they letting people in from the Boxing Bugle and like old ass white dudes be like 90 or black dudes is like 90 years old and shit. Like, cool. You feel me? That's on them. If that's who you want in your crowds, then like I said, I can't control that. All I can control is the job I do, stay professional. I fuck with Crawford. I always try to cover anybody's event. It is what it is. But when Crawford doesn't all the way get the exposure that he needs, then maybe they start thinking about those things. But yeah, Michael Woods said he contacted his source. Again, he's a boxing journalist, connects. He has a podcast. He had Bob Arum on the podcast, different things like that. They're saying 150, about 150, estimated 150,000 for Crawford Con. Bob Arum won't confirm it, but when you've been in the business, let's smash the like button. A lot of people are complaining, saying the likes aren't where they need to be. If you guys appreciate these multiple streams and raw, uncut, where we just get to talk about this boxing, let's get the likes up. That facilitates things. Otherwise, I have to, pump out the regular type of content and do less streams. I enjoy this. I enjoy talking to the people, but you got to make it count for the host as well. I try to give you guys my time, insight, be here to answer questions, that type of stuff. But anyway, the bottom line is 150,000. This creates a situation. This is what I was telling you guys from the beginning. New media. Let's listen to it. Listen to what I say and listen to it's like, how much stuff do I have to get right? Like, it's insane. I keep getting the same thing right. Okay. This is why Bob Arum is kind of panicked and desperate to work with Al Heyman or whatever. Desperate to work with Al Heyman for this Spence fight. One, because in my opinion, Top Rank matches black fighters tougher. That's just what I've seen. Tim Bradley, Crawford, Mayweather when he was with them, they're just out there fighting whoever. Other people like Tyson Fury, he's claiming he beat Wilder's ass, but he has to fight Tom Schwartz. Where's Tim Bradley's break where he gets to fight a Tom Schwartz? He fought Ruslan Provodnikov after Pacquiao, right after. And then Juan Manuel Marquez after Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's fighting tough-ass schedule like that. Diego Chavez, just tough fights. Lomachenko gets some Corollas, and Miguel Mariaga moving up and coming off of layoffs and shit. Right? So, let's listen to what I said. Again, I'm not playing this game. I really like and respect Terrence Crawford. I really like and respect Errol Spence. Evan says 150,000 ain't bad at all. You could talk about what you want to talk about on your channel, bro. It's not horrific, but it's not good when your promoter is screaming on Al Heyman and trying to say that, I told you, bro, you guys got to listen to the channel. Like, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. You might as well just hit the subscribe button, because some of you guys aren't understanding the implications. You're looking at 150 as if nothing else is going on. Like, oh, just 150. Okay, then that's whatever. But Terrence Crawford has been on 2 pay-per-views. One with Victor Postal did about 50,000, and then the second did 150,000. I ain't the smartest brother in the world, but 50,000 plus 150, that's 200,000. Errol Spence in his very first pay-per-view just did almost 400. So he did 360, 375,000, whatever the exact number was, but it was almost 400,000. So everyone's talking about this Crawford versus Spence shit. In his first appearance with PBC, with a guy who was moving up 2 weight classes, he has done better in one than Terrence Crawford and Top Rank have done in 2 pay-per-view outings. That's something to think about. In addition, I told you, I've interviewed Bomac. I like Bomac, but he said on the Boxing Voice, which I talked about, you see the title of the video. Brian McIntyre says Errol Spence is the B-side. They have the interview on the Boxing Voice. So here lies the problem. 150, if you just 150 go about your business, that's one thing. But we have an inter-network cross-promotional, back and forth deal going on. You got one side saying we want the fight right now. The other side saying that we don't care what you want. We doing what we're doing with our fighters. We have plenty of in-house fights and meaningful fights. And you have Bomac who's saying, no, Terrence Crawford's the B-side. Crawford just sold, allegedly, and we'll see if the numbers change. I'll do an updated video. But according to industry sources, right now they're saying it's about 150,000 for a big name with Amir Khan. Crawford did 150 with the actual welterweight, with a name, silver medalist, something he didn't go to the Olympics, and it's on ESPN. I don't know the exact count, but ESPN has a big ass following. So how is ESPN generating 150,000? I'd be interested to see what the UFC, Max Holloway, and some of these other fight card pay-per-views did. You know what I'm saying? Like TJ Dillashaw, ESPN pay-per-view, or Max Holloway. Right? So for Bomac to say Crawford's the B-side with numbers that are lower than Errol Spence, it becomes harder to make that argument. Right? Beyond that, if you don't get your way and the fight doesn't happen next, the longer PBC puts Errol Spence in these positions like they've been doing, the worse it'll be for Crawford. I'm not talking skillfully. Skillfully, Crawford is a dog. Skillfully, Spence is a dog. I don't know who wins the fight. I'm talking about the business side of it. He said TJ Dillashaw Holloway did better than 150. Well, there you have it. You know what I'm saying? So that's Crawford's second pay-per-view with Top Rank and that particular opponent, and they're saying it did 150. So that's less than half of what Spence did. Because they said Spence did at least 350, 360. Half of 300 is 150. So from the business side, as time wears on, Top Rank and Terrence Crawford's side will lose leverage with this whole A-side argument. Beyond that, in-house, Top Rank don't have the credible names with American profiles and name recognition to feed a brilliant fighter like Terrence Crawford, which is exactly what I've been saying. So going forward, who can he fight that is going to make him a household name more so than he already is? How does he get to the next level, without working with Top Rank? Some would say, but he can fight Kell Brook. But guess what? Errol Spence already fought Kell Brook and knocked him out. So when we're talking about Crawford and Errol Spence, that doesn't really give Crawford much leverage over Errol Spence when that's Errol Spence's leftovers. Do you get what I'm saying? That doesn't really give him leverage there if he fights Kell Brook. Beyond that, both Amir Khan and Kell Brook looked pretty bad in their last fights. So, we could respect them as top-class fighters at some point. But truth be told, if Kell Brook fight happens next and Amir Khan, the performance he fought, They both look bad. Mikey was undefeated. Even though he was moving up 2 weight classes, 1 weight class, whatever you want to say, he hadn't been looking like that. He had beaten Dejan Zlaticanin. I was there. Brutal knockout. He beat Broner, dominated that. He dominated Robert Easter. He had beat Sergey Lipinets, who just put Lamont Peterson in retirement. So, yeah, for Errol Spence, even though he was fighting a smaller guy, I feel like the implications, AT&T, the size of the event, selling more pay-per-view, he starts to take off on you. This is what I was telling you. I don't care if the UK will show up. You can say whatever dumb shit you're talking about. It's not about asses in the seats, because the venues that Crawford has been fighting in don't even hold as much as the AT&T Stadium. So you're lost in the sauce. You guys learn to keep up. Bro, Mike Green, this is your final warning. If you don't learn how to comprehend, this is not the channel for you. I'm going to put you in the hot seat, bro, because you're trying to misdirect the public and you're saying a bunch of sidebar bullshit that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Talking about the UK will show up. I don't care if the UK shows up. How does that give? So the UK could show up versus Liam. That doesn't mean it brings Crawford to more household name recognition. You talking about the UK is going to show up. What does that have to do with anything? Know your role, like The Rock says. You guys, if you want to, like I said, if you feeling froggish leap, jump in the hot seat, and then we'll really talk about these issues. But they keep saying these little distraction points. We don't care what you talking about. Who cares if the UK comes? I never said anything about, how many people are in the venue. You can sell tickets for $20 if you want. We're talking about the implications of becoming a household name. Mike Green says you don't. Kell Brook isn't a big enough name, bro. Okay, you're clearly like something's wrong. So let's just put you in the hot seat. I never said Kell Brook isn't the biggest name. I said his last performance was not good. Do you disagree with that? Yes or no? Kell Brook versus Michael Zarafa, who was a stripper who got knocked the fuck out by Peter Quillen. Was that a good performance by Kell Brook? You're making up your own points, and you're trying to put words in my mouth, which is never going to work. So let's get back to what I said. Was Kell Brook versus Michael Zarafa, a stripper, a good performance by Kell Brook? Laughing my ass off. Block him. Thank you for your time. Mike Green can go. He's green, so we're going to recycle that boy. That was easy. Another one bites the dust. Nah, it's too late. Now he's talking about now. Nah, it wasn't. So, again, if you had something to say, then it should have been in regards to what we're talking about. You start saying a bunch of sidebar dumb shit that no one's even talking. Oh, so you don't think Kell Brook could win a round? I never said he couldn't win a round. You saying some old dumb shit. So, we don't have no shooters. I have no shooters to get Mike Green out of here. Shooters, stand up if you in the chat. Or is it me, Dolo? I told you, they're only here to cause distractions, so we can't have too much of that. I would do a shooterless stream. All right, hold on, yo. The UK will support shiny shit hanging from a stick. What? Hey, y'all tripping with these comments. All right, cool. Moving on. So, my thing is this. If you would like to debate me, okay, cool. Don't say stuff that I'm not saying and try to act like I said some stupid shit that you just made up. That's never going to work because I know what I say because I'm there when I say it. So if you want to counter my argument, actually counter it with stuff that I said. Don't just make, so you're saying Kell Brook can't win one round out of 12. I never said nothing like that. Anyway, so we don't get too off track. Errol Spence is arguably, you can make a strong case that he's already the A side now. Bomac saying differently. But the point being is, with lower pay-per-view numbers, they both were on pay-per-view within a couple months of each other. Mikey Garcia and Spence, Crawford and Khan. If the numbers come out and the 150 is accurate, then that doesn't help that argument of who's. And this is why I think this makes Bob Arum and Top Rank fearful, because they realize what Al Heyman is doing. And they realize that they probably realize it because they wouldn't do anything different. I don't care who it is. If Terrence Crawford had all these people except for Errol Spence to fight. So on Top Rank, you had Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, Adrian Broner, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Ugas, Devin Alexander, Andre Berto. You had Jaron Boots Ennis. If you had all those people on Top Rank and the only Lone Ranger was Errol Spence with PBC, Top Rank wouldn't be looking to make no Errol Spence fight. Stop it. You know that. You know that. If Top Rank had everybody except for Errol Spence, like the roles were reversed, they wouldn't just be like, oh, yeah, we got to go do business with the ops. We got to make that one fight that everyone wants to see. They would be doing the same thing. And they realize that. And they see what Al Heyman is doing. And they know it's going to work. All Errol Spence has to do is keep winning. If he keeps winning at this rate, he's going to be a star. He's already a star. I just seen him in Dallas Cowboys players and shit posting pictures. So that's just the reality of it. And then like I said, the other thing is, and I'm not trying to make this a black-white thing, but Top Rank hasn't necessarily shown the most diversity in the marketing of their black talent. You get what I'm saying? Like resonating. Like they don't get, you know what I'm saying? They're not getting. See, this is the thing is people like DAZN even. DAZN's the same thing. You trying to sell pay-per-view and you're trying to connect with the black audience, that demographic or whatever. You get Tracy Morgan. Like niggas don't care about Tracy Morgan. Like not like that. I'm not trying to say it disrespectfully like that, but you get what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers don't care because Tracy Morgan, that's not going to be to me, that's not going to be the ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not going to get you the popular vote because DAZN got Tracy Morgan playing games and saying bye pay-per-view. Like that don't do nothing. Tracy Morgan is not even like the bit, you know what I'm saying? It's not like even a Kevin Hart level of like celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Top Rank. I don't know if they've found a way to connect Terrence Crawford and Shakur Stevenson kind of the same way. It's hard to explain. But even like look at my channel. I have people white, black, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Italian, Asian. I got so many different. It's like a melting pot. Just like where I'm from, the Bay Area, it's a huge melting pot. If you go to San Francisco, you're not just going to see one race. That's how California is in general, but definitely out in the Bay, it's very multicultural. You get what I'm saying? But they don't, like ESPN and stuff, outside of the fighters, like Andre Ward and stuff, they don't really, like Mark Kriegel, he's not like the type of, I don't know him personally. I'm just telling you, he's not like Stephen A. Smith acts like a coon. You know what I'm saying? It's not relatable to certain audiences. You get what I'm saying? So marketing Crawford, they're saying crazy shit like, oh yeah, but Lomachenko, they're not even talking about Crawford in general. The only one that probably talks about Crawford is like Errol Spence. Or if, the conversations about Crawford. They're like more critical of Crawford than they are Lomachenko. So all those things don't help the package either. Shout out to the Bay, man. You already know what it is. You get what I'm saying? Like you're not even, you have to have your fighter resonate. Like Wilder, I think he resonates. He's like a people's champ. He's walking out with 50 Cent. He's walking out with Lil Kim. And I'm not saying you just have to do that, but he has Denzel Washington in his back, in his locker room and shit, wishing him blessings. People like that, and they're like, oh man, this Wilder dude's cool. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, kind of hip cosigns and shit. They don't even barely be praising, like YouTube be praising Crawford more than ESPN. And like my channel, I give Crawford more of his props than ESPN, I feel. Because I really think he can scrap. I really like him, I know his sister. They've always been a dope fight family and shit. You know what I'm saying? But ESPN don't be talking about him like that. They'll build up, oh, Lomachenko's the next Muhammad Ali. And this is what I'm saying. This HBO 2.0 type of approach, this shit's kind of dead because you're not going to be able to, it's just too much going on. And there's too many voices like telling you otherwise. You get what I'm saying? So it's going to be hard to convey that same message. But back to this pay-per-view shit. 150,000, it becomes harder to argue. Yeah, shout out to Andy Vinces. He's dope. He don't train far from me. I think he trained in Martinez. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, I just feel like some of the stuff Top Rank, like, they're not putting Crawford in enough of the situations that'll make, I don't know, make him more household. Like, okay, like Showtime, for example. Sometimes they'll have Deontay Wilder with Brendan Schaub. I think he's a comedian. He's a former fighter himself. He's with Joe Rogan on his show. He has his own podcast, Below the Belt. I think that's a good look. You want to learn a little bit more about what's the name? About Wilder, and then you hear Brendan Schaub, or how Wilder was on Joe Rogan's show. Stuff like that. I don't know that Crawford was on Joe Rogan and things like that. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like it's not just about Joe Rogan, so please don't like try to take this to some like crazy dimension. All I'm saying is, in the race, this is all politics. In a perfect world, yes, we should be able to see Crawford Spence, but we don't live in a perfect world. Babies get thrown off buildings and churches get burned down and all types of shit. Hurricanes trash cities. You get what I'm saying? All this stuff happens. So we don't live in a perfect world. So you have to buckle up for that. And with the politics and the way things are going, Spence, like I've been telling you, has more of a chance to resonate with people that are going to support him in his career than Terrence Crawford. Plus, get the legacy names and accolades by beating Sean Porter's and beating potentially Pacquiao Thurman winner stuff. So he has more of those opportunities. That's very clear to see. They're talking about Pacquiao Thurman are pretty deep in negotiations. So if if Spence fights Porter, and then the winners of those two fights meet later on, that becomes big. That becomes big. You know what I'm saying? It becomes really big. Shout out to Iman Jordan. He said, "What's up, bro? Huge fan. I appreciate you. Thank you." Ego, I feel like you would be a great guest on Below the Belt. Thank you. Appreciate that. All this stuff is coming. I'm not worried about it. I know if we keep preaching the message, things will get bigger and better for us. But it's a marketing thing. You know what I'm saying? There's a marketing, like taking your fighter and what you have, and then like even Golden Boy. I think Golden Boy does a good job mostly with Latino fighters. like Ryan Garcia, whatever they're doing is working. He's selling out the smaller casinos. I think Oscar told him to hook up with the Reynosos, because the way you have to understand Mexican culture. Mexican culture, a lot of times you have two different attitudes to different places, different people and descendants of Mexico, depending on where you're from. Like if you were actually born in Mexico versus Mexican American. You know, Eric Morales was asked recently at Spence Garcia where he rates Mikey in terms of the all-time great Mexicans. And he said, I don't. He said, Mikey's a good fighter, but I don't rank him with the Barreras and myself and Juan Manuel Marquez and Canelos and Finito Lopez. He said he is different. So I think De La Hoya, being a Mexican American, also, he knows that. Ryan Garcia don't speak Spanish, and he's trying to tap into that market. So he went to, you know, a primarily Spanish-speaking coach that changed Canelo, and I seen it instantly. You had different people who are now backing Ryan Garcia that before they were calling him a pretty boy and calling him soft and shit like that. But now he's down with La Raza and shit. And then they treat him different. So it's a smart move to go to Reynoso. You know, because he's getting accepted a bit more. People are like, oh, yeah, okay. You know, Ryan Garcia, he's not that bad. He's getting better with Reynoso. Because it's like having that cosign. You got a reputable, you know, Eddie Reynoso and Chepo. You know what I'm saying? He said he got initiated. That's what I'm saying. You guys have to understand this. There's little things you can't teach like this. You know what I'm saying? Just cultural things. So yeah, you got cosign. It's like a bunch of brothers having a white guy around, and he's just hip, and you know he's being cosigned by the hood. You know, like, all right, he a real one. Scotty a real one. You know what I'm saying? Scotty look like alfalfa and shit, but everybody's cool with him, and he, you know, he might even say the N-word because he's being vouched for. They're like, nah, he's real. He like, he'll squabble. He's, you know, he a real hood dude. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what Ryan Garcia got fucking with Canelo. I mean, Canelo's a big star. Reynosos are respected. They're true to life Mexican, like Mexican team, not like Mexican American. So he got Golden Boy and Ryan Garcia. I think Golden Boy set that up, to be honest. But anyway, that was a good look for Ryan Garcia because he's getting more respect. He's not just, people were looking at him before, you know, because like I said, there's this like back and forth with Mexico versus Mexican Americans, like Chicanos and Chicanas versus you're from Mexico directly. You speak Spanish versus you don't speak Spanish, right? And people before were looking at Ryan Garcia like he was Twilight, like one of them Twilight actors or some shit. They're like, man, but then he hooked up with Canelo. Now he's being accepted more. So Top Rank's gonna have to try to find an angle to get, you know, especially the American public outside of Nebraska to really support Crawford. You know, to support Crawford. And I'm just saying, deny me credential for Crawford Khan. I don't know if that is going to help get you there because I could be, you know, I could be a bridge. But, hey, to each his own, right? And that's what I'm talking about with these big companies. They don't think like this, like they thinking about whatever they think. You know, I don't know. I think people don't respect the black dollar. I really don't. I really feel like they feel like there's no money. Oh, they're not going to support him anyway. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really think like he's the big star. But then you see Lomachenko, and then it's like they're faking themselves out. They're trying to make it like everybody's just down to see Lomachenko. Truth be told, Crawford's fighting style is more exciting than Lomachenko. He has more power per capita per division than Lomachenko does. You know, Terrence Crawford will knock you the fuck out. Lomachenko, he can knock you out, but he has to throw 1,000 punches to knock you out. Crawford set up a Jose Benavidez knockout with one swift uppercut, just yap, and then try to hook him. You know what I'm saying? It's different. But let ESPN tell it, they'll say, oh, Lomachenko, he's the Matrix, he's untouchable, you know. And as long as I keep telling y'all, as long as they're in that mindset and not being fair and just doing whatever the fuck they think instead of listening to the public, you know, I don't see them getting certain results. DAZN kind of doing the same thing. Out of all the fight, DAZN, Triple G should be fighting Andrade. Fact. Andrade should be the centerpiece. But what they do with black fighters a lot of times is they put them, you know, they just put them in line. And then if so happens that the black fighter starts gaining some kind of attention on his own, then they'll invest in him more and more. Like, okay, these guys like Shakur Stevenson, okay, and then you'll give him more opportunities. You know what I'm saying? But before anything is ever even proven with non-black fighters, some of these big companies will shove them down your throats and tell you, oh, Lomachenko, Shabransky, oh, Bivol is the best, Triple G. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys who are foreign fighters, which is cool. You could be from anywhere, come here and make money. Nobody have a problem with that. But it's like they're trying to constantly create the next Canelo or Pacquiao. But the point is, the next Pacquiao or Canelo might actually be from here. Not General Santos, not Mexico. I'm not saying there's not good fighters from those places. But how you going to look for the next Pacquiao or Canelo or whoever, Juan Manuel Marquez, and you looking everywhere but right under your nose where your company was founded? That's the problem. I'm not asking for anything that I don't feel is owed. If a black fighter sucks, then the motherfuckers suck. Period. If a white fighter suck, he suck. Argentine fighter suck, he suck. Mexican, he suck. Nobody cares about it. Nobody's asking for, you know, shit that they, you know, reparations and shit that they don't deserve. They just asking for respect, fair treatment, fair criticism. Don't go in on Crawford performance when he dogging guys and then be light on Lomachenko. Oh, yeah, he's really a featherweight. That's the problem. So until we bridge that gap, you know, and even the score, it's going to be bad for old media. Case in point, Floyd Mayweather made more money after he left Top Rank. Top Rank could have did the same thing with Floyd Mayweather had they put him at the, you know, as the mantelpiece, but they didn't. He did that with Al Heyman afterwards. Like, okay, let's say I was a producer in a A&R. You know, I produced I was Diddy, like a Diddy, and I had Drake, and then I was like, oh, he alright, he cool, but you know, I had him on my label, and I never did nothing with him. Never really put his projects out, that type of shit. And then he buys himself out of his contract. I'm like, yeah, I'm not even tripping. All right, good meeting you, man. You know what I'm saying? And then Drake go on to become Drake. You get what I'm saying? And he's doing all these Grammys and platinum and classic album. Then I would look like an idiot because I had that talent and I wasn't even really tripping off of him like that, thinking that he could do this, and then he goes on to win 5-8 Grammys and get nominated every year, put out classic albums, go on to, you know, top the charts and set streaming records. That's what happens. That's what happens all the time in boxing, you know. And until they fix that, then they're going to have mixed results. Al Heyman, the advisor, is actually doing that. You can get shine if you're Mexican, if you're black, if you're white. You're getting opportunities. Adam Kanowski, Polish. You know, when I'm saying white, I'm just saying, you know, fair skin, white, whether you're German or Polish. I'm just saying white in general, what's perceived as white, you know. Adam Kanowski getting opportunities. Joey Spencer, Caleb Plant getting opportunities. Black fighters, Broner's had every opportunity to be on pay-per-view, fight big names. Errol Spence just fought at AT&T, and before that, Frisco at the Star. Wilder's getting opportunities. Charlo's getting a hometown fight to, you know, other Charlo, Jermell getting a chance back at his belt. Gervonta Davis is fighting in B More. You see what Al Heyman is doing? You know what I'm saying? He's moving them around a bit, but then, like, Gervonta fighting in Baltimore is huge. I don't even remember the last fight that was in Baltimore. I've never even been to Baltimore. That'll probably be my first time in Baltimore. You see what I'm saying? It don't even, and see this thing, it don't even matter who he fights because he's the star. The better the opponent, obviously the better, but it'll still be a big event. Charlo in Houston, it's going to be a big event. His brother and him are fighting in the same month. So, his brother going to be there for that week. Take the night off from camp and be there for his brother. Errol Spence is going to be there. You see what I'm saying? And and what I've noticed from PBC, I'm a reporter. I cover all these guys' fights. I don't care. If they gave me a credential and it's a fight, that the fans want me to cover, I'll cover it if they give me a credential. Here's the thing, though. I went to different people's events. PBC has more camaraderie. Like, I see Broner and Tank at fights that have nothing to do with them. Like, Robert Easter. Just think about the channels So me as a reporter, the reason I know this is because my job and the success of my trip is dependent on how much content I get. And when I go to PBC fights, everybody's there. Like, remember when I was in the hallway and Charlos were there, Broner was there, Errol Spence was there, Robert Easter was there, Gervonta Tank Davis was there. Wilder walked by. Demetrius Andrade, who's not even signed to PBC, was in the hallway. Jacobs be there. It's like for at least for boxing, everyone's there. Like, so I get a lot of work, But I go to some of the other people's events, and like Crawford Khan, you'll see a couple people. But just look at that. Next time when there's Crawford Khan fight, especially like when Crawford fights in Nebraska, I didn't even see other big YouTubers that are always at the fights covering the fight. When he fought in Dongo, I was go look at the backlog for that particular fight. I was like one of the only big channels that was at the Ndongo fight. And the reason I know is because nobody else had content. I wasn't rushing. To put in my weigh-in stuff because nobody else was really there. You know what I'm saying? Like big channels. I'm not going to say a bunch of names. PBC fighters need to show more love for Clarissa. It's coming. I mean, I did see Errol Spence co-signed it and said, I can't wait to see. They're Olympian, brother and sisters. Wilder posted about it. So, people did. It's going to get there. Women's boxing as a whole is not. So you can't expect these crazy numbers, even with Errol Spence and Wilder cosigns. But my thing is this. It's like, I don't know. In the case of Spence and Crawford, they're both terrific. I don't know who wins and all that. But the business side, that side of things, and the A side, those kind of conversations, is clearly the needle is moving towards the PBC side of being, because Errol Spence can prove himself with the bigger names and or rack up belts like I told y'all, and I don't see who Crawford is going to fight. He already dominated the people he could easily, so who wants to see Amir Khan part 2, the way that fight was looking? So Amir Khan didn't make it interesting enough to me that I think a rematch would sell. He could fight Kell Brook, they're saying, but Kell Brook already lost to Errol Spence. So, it was only so much. It's not a horrible stylistic matchup, but Kell Brook didn't even look good in his last fight. Khan didn't look good in his last fight. You could say Sean Porter didn't look good in his last fight with you guys, but he was also in there with somebody. Like, I would rather not, if I was a welterweight, I would rather not look good against a Cuban, or your Dennis Ugas than not look good versus Samuel Vargas or Michael Zarafa. You feel what I'm saying? So, this is the design. Like Leonard Ellerby just did an interview or something, and he said Spence and Crawford ain't happening next. And I don't think it will either. Bob Arum. And the other thing is, you got to understand, Bob Arum is screaming at Al Heyman, how you going to get your way if you're being disrespectful. That's not a way to conduct anybody's business. You know what I'm saying? That's like someone say, man, fuck ego. You better tell that motherfucker to call me that little bitch. You know, somebody talking like me, that, I'm not gonna do what they want me to do. Yeah, Ugas is a tricky fighter, and he's tall, much taller than Sean Porter, stuff like that. But shout out, we got a new channel member. I told you we the new wave. It's a new drip. Shout out to Prophet HD. Prophet HD. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. All this from just talking a little bit of boxing. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. We need some claps for my man. Smash the like button too. So, like, it sucks to say. Bob Arum's been in the business for a while. I'm sure he knows a lot. But in situations like this, when you don't have the upper hand, you kind of have to humble yourself. You know, being spiteful or vindictive or snarky, I don't really see how you win when you don't have the power to win. You know, in that game, Errol Spence clearly has more immediate, easy to make options than Crawford does that will help build him. And then, to be honest, this is what I think Bob Arum is kind of fearing. It's going to show a horrible contrast. If Pacquiao fights Thurman, good fight. If Sean Porter fights Spence, good fight. If the winners of those two fight, let's say Spence and Pacquiao fight, good fight, right? And that would be for 3 belts. So with that type of pedigree, how on earth could Terrence Crawford and Top Rank at that point be like, yo, we the A side, we want half with all of that? Especially if Crawford has to fight the likes of Kell Brook, who Errol Spence has already beat. You know, it's going to do whatever type of crowd it does in America. Because I'm assuming that, well, Bomac said he wouldn't, they said, fuck no, we ain't going to the UK. See, and that's another thing. Errol Spence fought Kell Brook in the UK, where it could do the maximum numbers. So if you look at Kell Brook versus Terrence Crawford, and if Bomac, what he said holds true, fuck no, we're not fighting Kell Brook in the UK, then where are you going to place that fight? You know, to make a lot of money. You know, you would probably have to put it in Nebraska, where he's from. And real talk, I swear to you, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody's set, but if you look at a geographical map, Texas is bigger than Nebraska. So, you know, as Errol Spence makes waves, he's from a bigger state, and he's from a sports state where, and, you know, don't get it twisted, Omaha, Nebraska is a sports state too. But again, we're talking about size. Like, I live in California. California and Texas are like the biggest states in the United States. You get what I'm saying? That's not me, you know, set tripping or not. That's just the reality. You can look on the map and look at the size of them. So Errol Spence, if they keep marketing him, they're putting him in Texas occasionally for some of these fights, he could start developing that and building that. And from being from a naturally bigger state, more and more people can catch up. You get what I'm saying? And catch on. So that's what Bob Arum and Top Rank are going to have to figure out. And then on top of that, the way Terrence Crawford is marketed where he's at on ESPN, they're not really giving him all. They're talking more about Lomachenko being great. PBC, the PBC guys, from what I've seen, they're giving Errol Spence his just due. Like, damn, I'm impressed. Look at that jab. You know what I'm saying? They're not looking like Errol Spence is okay, but, you know, check out this white guy we have. You know what I'm saying? They're not really doing that. That's why I said your own selfish ways of trying to brainwash the crowd into believing whatever you want them to believe, it's not beneficial, because in the long run, you're hurting the certain fighters, and then you're putting a lot of pressure on other fighters. That's just how I see it. So PBC has the opportunity. Like, Al Heyman is playing chess. That's just what it is. People. He said there's more people in Houston than all of Nebraska. See that? I don't know the actual population count, but it might be true. Texas is a big state. So I'm not saying this is what I like. I'm not saying this to slight Crawford. I'm not saying this to slight Errol Spence. But I'm talking about when it comes to war, when it comes to this political warfare, when it comes to the 48 laws of power, when it comes to power tripping and, rivalries and Cold Wars and shit like that, this is what we have to look at. Al Heyman's playing chess. I'm trying to tell you. Errol Spence automatically is the way he's being moved, way he's been, just the little things like AT&T Stadium with Jerry Jones. See, that gives you a huge cosign. You know what I'm saying? You in Jerry's world, which is a huge deal. I was there. It was like I was marveled by just the beauty of the venue. It makes like the Barclays and all these other places look a lot smaller. It's huge, pause. Nathan says a lot of old heads are in panic mode because they can't manipulate the people like that anymore because of new media. I told y'all it was coming. You know what I'm saying? And see, the more and you, they don't understand is the people you have in charge and stuff like that all represents your brand. So when ESPN keeps putting Lomachenko ahead of Crawford, that's not doing Crawford any favor. And it's not, okay, here's the thing. If it were true, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. It would just be like, whatever. But when, in my opinion, it's not even true and they're doing it. So that's a problem. Because it's not even true and they're not even giving him, his own home network ain't giving him his just due. Crawford is the number one pound for pound fighter in the world in my book. But ESPN, they got a panel of people voting, and when it's all said and done, nobody agrees with me, and they're still putting Lomachenko number one. So good luck with that. When you ask PBC, and this, I'm not talking about just fall in line and just put a cape on and just do what you're told. But I'm pretty sure people would say who's the best. If they say who's the best PBC welterweight, they'll be like, oh, you got to put Errol in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be like, oh yeah, but this, this guy could probably beat it. They're not just like, oh, Sammy Vasquez is way better than him. I just haven't seen that from, the parties involved with the PBC. Y'all asking a lot of questions. I'm trying to read them, but it keeps going. Errol Spence shouldn't fight Spence. I don't know. I'm sure that's a typo. And the funny thing is, the racists, they'll hear me and think I'm just whining. Oh, you're just crying and shit. But then when it comes true, and when you see the power and the guard shift and everything that I'm saying, when you see what Ego's Army does and new media and how people start gaining interest in certain things, I told you, we control the narrative in this whole game. It's better to have us on your side than go against us. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying I don't fear nothing. I don't fear no. Oh yeah, you're speaking too honestly, because I'm not disrespecting no one. I'm not being unprofessional. You know what I'm saying? So if someone like, oh yeah, you're blacklisted, you won't get credentialed, that's gonna hurt you worse. It's gonna hurt you more. It's gonna hurt me, cause there's plenty I could talk about. I got a big mouth, my big mouth. I can't help it. I speak from the heart. I'm real. That don't hurt me. The more, I save money not covering fights. So there's nothing they can really do. And again, I'm not even trying to even take it there. I'm just telling you, I know how business works, and I know how people work. But with new media, you would probably want to make peace before you have to rest in peace, because we'll kill some shit off like that for real. We control the narratives. The narratives start here. That's why I'm saying they got to start giving credit to that. Like how do I cover Crawford's last 5 fights, and then Crawford Khan denied for the credentials randomly? That's not helping Crawford, because I'm a gateway to the community. I'm a gateway that people lean on in the popular channel. And then they be having all these goofies at the fight, shit like that. All right, cool. That's how you want to play it. For whatever reason, no explanation. That's cool. I'll try it next time. And then, if you deny that, then it's going to, there's going to be less coverage for you. That's what I'm saying. They should want as many people that are relevant. I see people who don't even cut, like, they don't even have channels or nothing, like not doing anything for your event. Yo, they denied you credentials for real? Yeah, for Crawford Khan. Have no idea why. I covered Crawford's last 5 fights, flew to Omaha. They don't tell you nothing. So, I'm like I said, I don't even say stupid shit like that. But it's a reality. It's people should know. Now you know where I'm, like, what I'm saying? Now you see where we're coming from. That hurts Crawford, because like I said, I would have flew out from Cali all the way to New York, gave y'all the coverage. I got nice cameras. Crawford knows me, but I can't, cover his event. Khan knows me from Virgil's gym, but I can't cover his event for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I don't sweat it. It's not, I'm not up here angry. I'm actually glad I didn't go to the fight, seeing how it ended kind of fucked up, because then I didn't have to spend no money. So it actually worked out beneficial to me. But, this is what happens. These companies put whoever in charge, and they do the little screening whatever, I don't know, whatever. He said they just saved you some paper, Ego. Yeah, they really did, because I actually would have probably been hot, because it was just getting good, and then the fight ended. And then you got to look at it. It was other people like Teofimo, Shakur Stevenson. I've always gave them great exposure on my channel. I really like watching their journey. You know what I'm saying? So I would have tried to get all that shit so y'all can hear it. And people don't understand how I'm not even trying to say this cocky. They don't understand how big I am in this game. Like, sometimes it's like, let's say, who's your favorite comedian? I'll give you guys an example. Who's a funny comedian? Who's funny to you? I'll give you guys an analogy. Name a comedian that's funny to you. Cat Williams and Chris Tucker. Okay, that's good. So Cat Williams or Chris Tucker, they could say a joke, but if somebody you knew that you went to school with said this, like a very similar joke, just the fact that they have the persona, that it was like Cat Williams, Dave Chappelle, Mike Epps, you get what I'm saying? It almost makes it funnier. Does that make sense to you? Like, if a known comedian like Mike Epps said something, it was funny, versus someone you went to work with said it. It would probably be different, because you go into a Mike Epps show to laugh. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to explain, but that's what it reminds me of. That's how it is with these fighters. Sometimes they want to hear me ask the question. They want to see, it is weird. Like, you just go look at my videos. When I'm talking to Deontay Wilder, people was talking about ego. There was other people. We were at a little round table. They were asking, all asking questions. They asking about, oh, good question, ego. It's like I have the community, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have the people's buy-in. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I have the people's buy-in, so they're concerned. Like, I hear on other people's channel, well, not I hear, but I've seen on other people's channel when we're doing like a media scrum, and people will be putting my name in there. I heard Ego's voice. I heard Ego. Oh, that was Boxingego that said that. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's what you have to understand. So me being at these events, this benefits the event, period. And that's just the reality of it. So Crawford Khan, same thing. Like, it didn't hurt me. It actually benefited me that I didn't go to that one, in terms of how it kind of ended sour. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I've interviewed Bo Mag before, Noah's sister, stuff. Always Teofimo, Shakur. I'm enjoying their journey. Crawford, I've always, put y'all on him. So they got people who are making decisions, pulling strings. That's cool. But when he doesn't resonate with people, look at the approval process or what ESPN's doing and saying and shit. You get what I'm saying? Manny and Thurman have agreed to the meat and potatoes, the basis of the contract. I'm sure there's little things that they're finalizing. That's a good fight, though. And see, this is the other thing that makes me curious about what other promoters are saying. Shakur looked real good. Shout out to him. Listen. Al Heyman is the devil and he's the cancer, right? This is what these other promoters are saying, or all these faults. But how is it Luis Ortiz's best fight was with Deontay Wilder? Like, the most meaningful, not like his best performance. I'm talking about his most meaningful fight to date was an Al Heyman advised matchup with a champion, Deontay Wilder. Don't we all agree that Luis Ortiz's most meaningful fight that he fought, where he did fight a good fight, was against Deontay Wilder? Who agrees with that? Luis King Kong Ortiz's most meaningful fight was with Deontay Wilder. Do we all agree with that? Sound like PB agrees. Come on, let's do it interactive. Agree. Okay. I know there's a little bit of lag. Easily agree. Okay. So I feel the same way. So case in point, look at this. Golden Boy had Luis Ortiz, did nothing with him. He had no title shot. Matchroom had Luis Ortiz for a couple fights. He did nothing, had no title shot. Al Heyman had Luis Ortiz, and under his banner, his most important fight was with Wilder, held under Al Heyman. So somehow, some way, Al Heyman got that fight done, which to this day, over Bryant Jennings, coming off the Klitschko loss and shit, the Wilder fight was an undefeated championship level fight with two undefeated. So how did Al Heyman get that done? He's the devil, but he got it done. Meanwhile, AJ, his opponent fucks up, fails a drug test. They need a last minute switch. They can't get the Luis Ortiz fight done. They absolutely can't. It just won't work. They, you gotta ask yourself that. So Golden Boy couldn't give him a title shot. Matchroom didn't give him a title shot with AJ or nothing, even though they had AJ and Matchroom had both of them at one point. But he got a title shot under Al Heyman. Under Al Heyman's banner, we've already seen Wilder Fury. They were supposed to rematch. Top Rank and ESPN got in the way of that, pulled the plug. Boom. Nope, not going to happen. So they didn't put Wilder Fury, a big fight, together. You know, they, if anything, got in the way and ruined it. Right? Pacquiao versus Thurman. It looks like it's going down. Pacquiao, the whole time he was with Top Rank, never fought Keith Thurman. Never fought Adrian Broner. How is it he leaves Top Rank and within his first 2 fights, he's fighting them? Something's not adding up to me. You know, I don't know, but something's not adding up to me. How does that make sense? Al Heyman's the devil and he's the cancer, but Eddie Hearn can't get Luis Ortiz compensated, or he has $1 billion. He can't make him feel comfortable enough to get the Joshua Luis Ortiz late replacement over the line. But Al Heyman got undefeated Wilder, undefeated Luis Ortiz over the line. Pacquiao did not fight Crawford when he was with Top Rank. Did not fight Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Broner. Within his first 2 fights with Al Heyman, Pacquiao's already fought Broner and beat him. Y'all know I beat that. No, I'm just playing. And then now it looks like he's going to fight against Keith Thurman. Make that make sense. See, it doesn't make sense. You see, y'all like to play dumb. Jeff Real says, I feel fights are much easier to make when fighters are under the same network. Okay, so then why didn't AJ fight against Dillian White? Why was Gerald Miller selected over that? Why didn't he just fight Dillian White? Wasn't he more deserving? Why didn't AJ fight Luis Ortiz when they were both under rematch room? If you guys, you guys just, you type all this shit, but don't be talking about nothing. How come Pacquiao didn't fight Terrence Crawford? How come Pacquiao didn't fight Ruslan Provodnikov? If you feel fights are easier to make when you're on the same banner, then why are we not getting Teofimo versus Lomachenko next? How come we haven't got Shakur Stevenson versus Carl Frampton? Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez? Artur Beterbiev versus Vodstick? If they're easier to make, if in-house fights are easier to make, why didn't we get Crawford and Pacquiao? So even if that's your logic, that still don't make sense. Because Crawford should have been fought Pacquiao. Why did Jeff Horn fight Pacquiao? No one even knew who Jeff Horn was. Why didn't that go to Crawford? He had clearly done more. You be schooling him? I told you, it's not even a chat. Look, there's no sweat. Look. You don't see no sweat there. You don't see no sweat on. I ain't sweating one bit. Jeff Horn gets a Pacquiao fight before Crawford. Okay, that makes sense. So even if you go that logic, it still don't make sense. Hey, block this Tavon bursting. We about to burst in on you. Bro, get him out of here. I hate these dudes leaving 18 messages. They leave so many messages. We don't care what you're saying, bro. I don't know if you haven't noticed that. Block this, fake ass Trayvon Martin dude or whatever your name is, Tavon Burston. Get him out of here, please. Block him. Thank you. Fuck. Pacquiao fought Horn. Horn allegedly won. And then Crawford immediately gets to fight in his very first fight at 147, fights Jeff Horn. which does nothing compared to if Crawford would have took the belt off of Pacquiao himself directly. So we all know. See, this is what they do to black fight. I'm trying to tell y'all keep saying bullshit. We keep going over the same thing. Everybody knows, had Crawford beat Pacquiao for the WBO belt, moved from 140 to 147, beat Pacquiao, that would have done more for his career than moving up to 4-7 and fighting Jeff Horn and beating him. Now, old media can still use the same bullshit. Oh, who's Crawford beat? Versus had he had an opportunity. I'm not saying he absolutely would have beat Pacquiao, but had he beat him like he beat Jeff Horn, we know that would have been more beneficial to him. So nobody would be able to say, oh, yo, who's this guy beat? Because you can be like, oh, he beat Pacquiao. Because even if Spence or Thurman beats Pacquiao, they're going to get credit. So once again, Mr. Cancer of boxing, how is he pulling the trigger? That's a dangerous fight for Pacquiao. Dangerous fight for Thurman. Thurman's undefeated and Pacquiao's a legend. So it's a dangerous fight for both. And it looks like Al Heyman's going to get it done. So you tell me what I'm missing here. Al Heyman's the cancer, but we're probably going to get 2 welterweight. You know, if all the rumors turn out to be true, which I'll update you, you know, if they get announced. Sean Porter, unification with Porter or Errol Spence, and then Pacquiao Thurman with the chance to have the winners face in the future. So how is he doing this? How is he getting this shit done? You know, ESPN, look how they moved Lomachenko. He lost to Orlando Salido. To this day, you want to tell us he's number 1 pound for pound? He still ain't beat the guy that beat him. Meanwhile, Jermell Charlo allegedly lost. You know, they gave it to Tony Harrison, but a lot of people thought he really got robbed and won. But whatever, the judges gave it to Harrison. Who's Jermell fighting? It's already been announced. His very next fight, that does more for Charlo because he has a chance at redemption and a chance to get his belt back. Block Omar Garcia. Jermell has a chance to get his belts back. And, you know, if he does it, you know, in the right way, like let's say he knocks out Tony Harrison, then he's right back there on the map. Because people could say, the first fight was controversial and he barely lost or, you know, whatever. Chino Maidana's not coming back. I don't know. I never heard that. He was losing all that weight. It was looking good. So I don't know. I hope he comes back. I haven't heard nothing about him not coming out. I fuck with Chino though. I like him. I know. Hey, listen, we don't have no shooters. We don't have no shooters. Oh, Coppinger? If it's coming from him, he works with PBC, so he might know. He worked with them. Damn, that's fucked up. Why did Chino do all that? He might not, you know, it might be something like that. I mean, you get in the gym, you might not be feeling it. Like, damn, this shit harder than I thought. Oh, shit. Shout out to Cop. Marcos Maidana has decided to end comeback bid. He stopped training in Las Vegas and will return to Argentina despite signing lucrative 3-fight deal with PBC in February that would have paid $1.5 million for a summer return at 160. I'm told Maidana simply lost hunger. Probably what it. That's what I just said. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, when you take that type of time off, that's going to determine. Boxing's a hard sport, you know. That's the ultimate polygraph test. You know what I'm saying? You trying to lose weight only, you know. I don't know if he was even got to the point of sparring, but if the losing weight only was killing you, he gained a lot of weight. Hey, my dude Dago's a fool. He said, "Damn, he was about to fight at one." We all said that. My dude Diego's an asshole. We all said that he's not returning. My dude Diego was like, "Damn, he was finna fight at 160." That's funny. We're all sad about it. He's like, "Damn, 160 though." That's the part he picked up on. Damn, I don't know who he was trying to fight at 160. He about to fight Canelo. That shit crazy. He about to fight Matt Korobov and shit. Fucking Demetrius Andrade and Chino. Yeah, that weight loss journey was probably fucking with him. Ariza should have gave him that shake though, bro. He could have shook that weight off. Had that little power shake or whatever that Pacquiao had. Cause that motherfucker Pacquiao. I do believe my shake from that Pacquiao drank that fucking shake and that motherfucker went crazy. Pacquiao drank that muscle milk or whatever the fuck. His fucking calves was gonna rip through his jeans and shit, bro. I want to. Yeah. Alex, he give me that one drink. If I believe that one in the best. Pacquiao drink that fucking shake, bro. Become a channel member by pressing the join below. Shout out to you, man. You want to? He's going to bite me? He's going to bite me? That comeback, Maydon said, "Fuck this. Yeah, I ain't coming back to none of this shit." He took too long. That's what it is. He should have took a year off. That's what I'm saying. Not everyone's Floyd. You ain't just gonna come off for 2 years, bro. Imagine if you like. I've been doing this boxing shit for hella long now. That's like me going back to Lowe's and having to punch in at. I used to have to be at Lowe's at like 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m. My sleep is fucked up. I'll be the vampire stream. You know what I'm saying? My sleep schedule is fucked up. That would take some home training. Luckily, I got y'all motherfuckers and entertain y'all. You know, I have to work for somebody else. I could do my own shit, but that would be crazy. During the holidays, we used to work like 3 to 12 and 12:30 and shit, bro. I feel Madonna. That's like me going back to Lowe's. Fuck that. I ain't trying to go back, bro. I used to lift big ass 80, 90, 100-pound bags of mortar and shit. And then the corner be open and all the shit get in your nose and shit. I'm inhaling mortar, lifting big ass concrete. Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah, some pumping iron shit. I was whipping that forklift though. They couldn't fuck with me on the forklift. I drove that thing like one of them Cadillacs on them Vogues and shit. The way I was hitting that. Use a hoe. I was whipping that. I was like a bus driver the way I was whipping that forklift. I was bending corners on that. I was raw on the forklift. Just yeah. I need you to spot me. Hitting them things. I hit that 3-wheel motion. I was hitting them 3-wheel motion, real California shit. I was on that California shit. You busters don't know about that. I was bending corners on that. Break yourself, fool. Today I got time, cuz. I was hitting that. I was getting active. I was Cali active, man. I was doing a sideshow on there. You know, I'm from the Bay. We did fucking side. I would ghost ride the whip and shit. Hey, ghost ride the whip. Ghost ride the whip. I was doing it, bro. I'm from Hell. He double hockey stick. Hellboy. That's my new name. Young Credentials, a.k.a. Hellboy. You gotta make that transition. I ain't going back. Hell no. I get to talk boxing. Talk my little boxing talk. I ain't going back to that shit. I get to cover fight, have blood and snot on me and shit. That shit, it was like, oh shit, this is a good ass fight. Got blood on my shit, but smashing on them hoes. Hell yeah, on that cherry picker. I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. Come with me. I want to take you to the top, baby. Just to the top. But you gotta believe in me, baby. We going straight to the top. But only if you ready, baby. Don't worry. I told you, y'all gonna make me turn back to the old me. I was on that cherry picker, though. That little harness. Looking like Super Dave about to do a stunt out this motherfucker. Man, we used to have some female, and they would put the little harness on and shit, be looking right. Oh shit. Don't stop, get it. That's the way we do it. Hey, fuck that. Lowe's had them though. They had them back in the day. They was there, blood. My building, this app is going to be crazy. See, keep grinding. I ain't going back. Anyway, yeah, Terrence Crawford, Spence, it's not gonna happen next. And like I said, the momentum is shifting towards the PBC side in terms of they have more chess pieces to build. This motherfucker retarded, bro. I'm just honest, man. I hope Canelo loses to Jacobs. Damn. Jose. Anybody with easy work. Anybody with Jose? Y'all want Canelo to lose? I like both of them, though. I want them to knock each other out at the same time. When we haven't seen that. Nah, Jacobs is my dude, too. That'd be crazy if they just both got knocked out. I hope it's a good fight, yeah. They finna have Adelaide Bird as the ref. Adelaide Bird they finna do like, remember on wrestling when it'd be like a ref and then the ref will get distracted and then like Adelaide Bird will run from the top and then slide under the ring and then knock the dude out and then put the other guy's arm on the guy and then the ref would finally turn around. The crowd's going crazy and the ref would be like, 1, 2, 3. Adelaide Bird finna run out the back like Ultimate Warrior shit. The people of Arcadia. Canelo. Adelaide Bird finna run down. You gonna hear that Stone Cold music? She finna run from the back. And you gonna hear Jerry Lawler. What's this? Oh, you gonna hear Canelo when he start losing the fight. You gonna hear. This Adelaide Bird finna be striking. Do. She gonna slide in the under that bottom rope and be like, bow, 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 bow. She gonna run. He said she gonna run down the aisle with the Canelo flag. Hey, you doing the most, bro. He said a Canelo flag. That's funny though. Man, my face hurts from these streams, bro. Y'all gotta give me a break. Oh. Who's Mo? Man, fuck Mo. Oh, I thought you meant someone was talking shit. I don't know, but that Triple G shit is crazy. That shit crazy. Hold on. That Triple G shit, Abel started going in. Abel was like, "Oh, you motherfuckers, yeah, okay, yeah. So you got 100 million with the zone. You ain't gonna give me no money, huh? G." That's how Abel was. Abel was like this. "Oh, you motherfuckers. All right, okay. Yeah, you got. After all the fights we done fought together, we just fought Canelo twice. You not gonna. You got $100 million, huh? Through the zone. Yeah, who gave it to you? The Russians? Oh, John Skipper, he gave you 100 mil, huh? You got 100 mil. You disloyal, fool ass, bitch made motherfucker. Yeah, you just gonna take the money and run, huh? Oh, you gonna get Robert Garcia to train you, huh? Yeah, you think you could do this to me? Kiko! That motherfucker. Yeah, you know Joe Joyce just left. I gotta keep the lights on in the gym. I don't gotta train Joe Joyce. Now I can't train you. You got $100 million. I need my money, Jake. Hey, Triple G stingy. Triple G for greedy. I'm just fucking around, but my face hurts. This shit hurt. That shit hurted. My shit really hurt. Pause. My shit really hurt from laughing, bro. Hell no. 3 Greeds and shit. That's his new name. Abel said he greedy. Oh my god. Hold on. Abel said he greedy. Wow. That shit went way left. Abel said he triple greed. He said, man, he didn't want to give me no money, huh? Yeah, Triple G after 2 Canelos, huh? I got you the 3rd Canelo fight lined up. You just gonna flake on me. Let greedy. Hey, who's your top 10? Shout out to you for $10 super chat. You said you keep it a buck. I really don't do a top 10. It's not worth it. But, you know, I have Crawford number 1. Canelo should be up there. I would probably have him right there next to it. Usyk's higher than Lomachenko. Hey, Triple Greed. That's his new name, Triple Greed. Hey, who said he getting hella greedy? But here, the flip side, you know, on the Triple G defense side, is this. It could be Abel getting greedy. I mean, you know, it's hard to tell. Because Abel could be seeing dollar signs and Triple G wasn't going for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Triple G got all this 100 mil. Like, hey, no, 100 mil. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? And the zone gave him 100 mil. And Abel could have wanted to expect, you know, a certain percentage or a big cut out of it too. Like, yo, you know, we don't know. Who the fuck is Mo? Abel wanted 10 to 15 million up front. See, then I don't know. I don't know what their agreement. Triple G tried to put him on allowance. Hey, no, Abel, yeah, right. Triple G put him on allowance, baby. Money. Abel might have seen, like, yeah, like, motherfucker, I was in the meeting. I know how much DAZN giving you, and he might have wanted to hike his price up. And then that, you know, they didn't see eye to eye on it. So, I don't know. I don't know what the real reason is. Abel sent Triple G in there with Canelo. You know, it's real weird just in general what's happening with Triple G's career. Like, I'm seeing Triple G fans even turn on him. Like, the Steve Rowe, just everything. They said Tom Loeffler was no longer with him. He took forever to sign ESPN, PBC, and DAZN. You know, then they said Tom Loeffler was no longer part of the team. Tom Loeffler was like, yes, I am, motherfuckers, I'm back. You know, and then he was at the events, but then Abel wasn't. Then he's saying, hey, Abel had no thanks, Abel. And then Abel's like, man, fuck that. He tried, you know, he don't have no integrity. I thought he was different. That's crazy how quick people change. You get what I'm saying? Money changes people. You know, money, fame, you never know. I'm not blaming Abel or Triple G because I don't know their situation. But I'm just saying Abel was all in for Golovkin. And then now he's saying he don't have no integrity, and, you know, because they had a disagreement, a dispute. Crazy. Crazy how that works. Y'all so out of pocket and petty. Kane said Abel came at Golovkin like he was Dragonfly Jones. Silence. Learning from the master is your pay, punk. Now get off me and get in line, boy. He said, I heard about the DAZN money. Silence. Shouldn't be worried about the lights. You should be practicing on your arts. Silence. Ego, who should Triple G train with? Shit, he need to train Steve Rolls. Because I'm not convinced that's a competitor. So I don't know who he should train with, but he need to train Steve Rolls to get him prepared for fighting him. That's what I want to see. I want to see Triple G become a trainer so he can train Steve Rolls. That's what I want to see. Because I have no understanding of the qualifications of Steve Rolls at this level. Steve Rolls might be cool, but Triple G should train him for the fight. You know what I'm saying? He said, this is my obedient servant, Kiji! Why you always call him obedient? That shit was funny. Land. Steve Fruit roll up. Yo, petty. Well, new media is doing great. How about it, people? Can y'all smash the like button? Y'all be capping, man. You get all this entertainment on my streams, and y'all really be capping. If you was practicing on your art, you wouldn't have time to find your way through the dark. Now get in line, boy. Hey, brother, you think Shakur is ready for Tank? I don't think Top Rank will make it, but Shakur himself, he keep going in with Tank, so yeah. Even though they're different weight classes, they sparred before, so maybe he knows something. So yeah, I think Shakur would take it. I don't think Top Rank would make it, especially working with Al Heyman. Man, Triple G messed up though. This Steve Rolls fight is like, he said, Sanchez said, well, fuck you then. What movie is that from? I know that's from something. I can't think of what movie that's from, but I know it's from something. Yeah. I want to see Shakur fight the Oscar Valdez and Carl Frampton, guys like that in his division before Tank. But yeah, man, this shit crazy. Abel, they just really left Abel. Joe Joyce, that's bad. Like, that's within 2 weeks. He lost Joe Joyce, which is a heavyweight. You know, I'm sure he was getting good money with that. And then he left Triple G. But I don't understand why Triple G's even fighting Steve Rolls. What's up, Stanley? Oh, that's Debo. Okay, Friday. I knew I heard that. He said, "What's up, Stanley?" Man, well, fuck you then. Debo got hella angry. Y'all ain't getting nothing. Man, hell yeah. We got about $250. Ain't that right, Debo? I got about $250. Like, Debo was... that motherfucker said, I got $250. But anyway, yeah, that whole situation, it went from sugar to shit pretty quick. Crazy how that works. Money, money, money. Damn, someone said elbow. Says, hey. Wow. Y'all going in. See, and I wonder how much of Triple G might have wanted to I don't know, because, you know, there's kind of different stories. Triple G might have wanted to distance himself because Abel did a lot of, was his megaphone and mouthpiece. I wonder if that played any part of it. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe Abel was wilding and wanted too much money. I don't know. But Abel did do a lot of talking, and that it did start making Triple G look bad. Some of the stuff he was saying. Shout out to E-Bong, bro. Yeah, man, we just grinding. We having fun with this boxing game. We in that zone. We in that lane. So, yeah, because Abel, remember he was nitpicking on Canelo's gloves, and people were like, damn, Triple G, you supposed to be the boogeyman. Abel saying he can't wear the boxing his life gloves and shit. Talking about they might break in the middle of the fight and buy him time when he's about to get knocked out. He was not even close to getting knocked out. Bro, it's Triple G. I keep saying the same shit. Y'all gonna listen. The zone is, this what I'm saying. These companies are approving this stuff. That's why I can't wait to see who Joshua fights, because depending on who he fights, certain fights are clearly better than others. And to be honest, it looks crazy. How, like, Triple G's words, and I quote, hey, he says, I don't exactly know who this guy is. I look at him, he's hungry, he's dangerous, he's undefeated. This is boxing. Anything is possible. Nobody is playing that game anymore, bro. Where it's boxing, anything can happen. Yeah, you can say that about anything, but you got to convince us a little bit better that this is a rightful fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even have as much of a problem if you at least, like, why? This is my thing. Put Triple G in there with, like, somebody else better, and then put this Steve Rolls guy in the undercard. See, this is where promoters are messing up. They're not even putting Steve Rolls on anybody's big cards. He ain't fought since December. And then when they need him, now all of a sudden they just phoned a friend and shit. So at least put him on Canelo Fielding or some shit. So you get what I'm saying? So I could be like, oh, okay, I watched him scrap on the Canelo Fielding card. But you wasn't thinking of it. They don't think ahead like that. You wasn't thinking nothing about no Steve Rolls. You know, DAZN wasn't thinking nothing about no Steve Rolls, and then just randomly picked him. They're not even trying to build these fights up. Like Vanes Martirosyan, two-year layoff, coming off a loss, moving up in weight, and you think that's a good fight for Triple G. It's not like Vanes, somebody had brought him back on a regular card and he beat one guy at 160 and then fought Triple G. You just fought him off rip. And you expect Americans to pay for this. Good luck with that. And then on top of that, that's bad. Golovkin says, I don't know who he is. He said, I don't exactly know who this guy is. That's horrible, bro. Golovkin don't even know him. Like, I get it if you're talking to Rolly or Joey Spencer or somebody, they don't know who their opponent is, right, you know, immediately, because they're still coming of age. Golovkin's a grown-ass man who might be in line for a Canelo trilogy. You know, that's what it seems like they want. And his precursor is not Demetrius Andrade. See what they do? They baby certain fighters. Like, oh yeah, of course you don't have to fight. Like he's taking care of $15 million to fight Steve Rose or whatever. And then Demetrius Andrade has a tougher fight and is gonna get less money. You see? This is what they do to black fighters. I'm trying to tell y'all. And I'm going to keep saying it until y'all see it. Because I know you will see it over time. Demetrius Andrade, they pacify him by giving him a hometown fight. His opponent is a guy we've at least seen versus Gabe Rosado, Hugo Centeno, and Danny Jacobs. Instead of giving Selesky to Triple G, which at least would have been better than Steve Rolls, they picked Steve Rolls at a catchweight. Instead of giving Andrade, which is the real fight that made sense, to Triple G, two Olympians, they put Triple G in there with Steve Rolls at a catchweight, and they put Andrade in there with Selesky. Good luck with that, because, you know, people are going to start putting their foot down like, yo, especially with the price increase, I'm not supporting that. You know? I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to let you tear down fight in America and tear down American fighters and not give them similar opportunities. You know, Demetrius Andrade got to fight Mad Selesky, who's a good fighter, you know, not get all the credit because Daniel Jacobs already beat him. You know, he got dropped by Gabe Rosado. So he'll get some credit, but, you know, he'll get a lot more credit beating Triple G, but you don't want to bust that egg. You know what I'm saying? You want to make omelets, but you don't want to crack no eggs. That's not how it works. Let these people fight, then you make the decisions on what their next move is based on the outcome. Triple G, what if he knocked out Andrade? Now he's gonna get real respect in boxing. And they what they do with white fighters, this is why people say the great white hype and hope and all this shit, is because they spit in your face with it. Put Lomachenko at number 1 pound for pound. Tell you Triple G is the boogeyman. Tell you Triple G is unstoppable force and pound for pound. Tell you Triple G is the best 25 in the last 25. Tell you Triple G, everyone's afraid of him. Tell you Triple G is real Mexican style, unlike boring Floyd. He's fighting for the fans. Tell Triple G he lets people punch him in the face and get free swings on him because he's trying to entertain the crowd. If you're trying to entertain the crowd, what's up with the Vanas fight? What's up with the Steve Rolls fight? You know, come out with this Mexican style fallacy. Come out with this big drama fallacy and gimmick. This is what they do. And then just drop off a Steve Rolls fight. And we just supposed to be like, oh yeah, thanks. Good luck with that. I'm telling you, man, we shutting shit down this year. They will start paying like they weigh. They're going to have to start giving respect. I already talked about it. We can talk about it again. Luis Ortiz, I'm glad he's not fighting AJ. If they wanted him last minute and his team don't feel like they're getting compensated properly with that minimal time to pay. You got to look at this. Luis Ortiz, they offered him $5 million and he wants 10. Why is DAZN likely, based on the number, they say he's getting like 8-9 figures or whatever. Why is Golovkin clearing more than $10 million for a fight like Steve Rolls, but to save your Gerald Miller event, give someone a bullshit camp and put and make Joshua's American debut more financially successful? In fact, a better fight than the initial fight of Gerald Miller, right? Why are you not willing to compensate Luis Ortiz fairly or with similar money? You could give Triple G all the money in the world for Steve Rolls, but Luis Ortiz is like pulling teeth. He has to beg and keep going back and forth. When the better fight would be AJ versus Luis Ortiz as opposed to what's the name? I would rather see AJ versus Luis Ortiz than clearly Triple G versus Steve Rolls. Or like I said. So you're not, but that's like almost like, if you really think about like the problems that plague boxing, that's almost like some kamikaze shit. You would rather blow up everybody, including yourself, as opposed to doing what's right. That's insane. If you really think just to create this, aura about Triple G or salvage Canelo Triple G, you would rather do what's worse for your company, DAZN. Instead of just saying, fuck it, give Luis Ortiz the $10 million, shut him the fuck up, and then AJ, go handle business. Please knock this guy out. If that's what he's wanting, you would rather let him get away. The fans want that fight. I want that fight. I push for it. New media's push for it. You would rather him get away, all the while paying Triple G crazy money, Klitschko crazy money, and these guys aren't even as big as you try to make them in America. Triple G's pay-per-views outside of Canelo, and a lot of that had to do with Canelo, have been horrible. His fight with Jacob did horrible. His fight with Lemieux did even worse. They didn't do great, crazy pay-per-view numbers. But once again, when it's a white fighter, non-black, they always try to build up and soup up and make it like the American public is only clamoring for that, And they do it oftentimes with fighters who are foreign to America, and they try to force feed you it, not knowing, not realizing, we like in-house talent too. We like people from America too. We'll pay for what we like no matter where they're from. But America shouldn't be off limits. Like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Why don't they do that in like movies? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is from Hayward, California. Shout out to the Bay. And I think he lived in Hawaii or something. But he was born in the Bay, lived in the United States, in Hawaii. And he's the biggest actor right now, or one of them. Instead of just like trying to force people to say Tom Hardy is the biggest fighter or the biggest actor. You get what I'm saying? Or whoever. But in boxing, they try to do that. And it's, like I said, it's like really on borderline some kamikaze shit. You would really rather do what's worse for your business. So you'll do anything, pull any strings to get Klitschko coming off of 2 losses, last one being a knockout loss in the 11th round with AJ. He's 41 years old, and he didn't look quite fresh, He looked pretty good in the Joshua fight, but, I mean, in the end, he got knocked out. And before that, he looked horrible versus Tyson Fury. You would rather pay him all types of crazy shit than to give Luis Ortiz some money to save your event because Gerald Miller messed it up. That's insane to me. Like, I'm not going to let my party go to shit to, and put on a lackluster fight. That's incredible that it's like that level of stubbornness up top to make these decisions. Like, I get, okay, you want to fight Canelo Triple G, but what's wrong with him earning it? What's wrong with him going through a reasonable person, collecting a belt like Canelo told him to do, exciting and inciting the fans, and then putting him in with Canelo if he gets past him? Well, truth be told, even if Andre beat Triple G, you could still make the Canelo fight. It's not like Canelo's undefeated and it's 2 undefeated guys. You know what I'm saying? But they want to protect certain fighters. It's very easy. Easy to see. Top Rank doing the same thing. Terrence Crawford, you want him to fight the toughest fight for him available in the welterweight division, and there's no guarantee who's going to win. It's not a guarantee Crawford wins. Some people pick Crawford. Some people think Spence is too big and stops him, right? Needless to say, it's a good fight. It's a big fight. It's a dangerous fight. But Teofimo is at Lomachenko's neck. No urgency to get that next. But Bob Arum is screaming at Al Heyman, someone who he doesn't have the best relationship with, screaming at him to make the toughest fight for Crawford. So you're ruining and interrupting your own pay-per-view to request Crawford take the very toughest fight that most people feel for him at the welterweight division. Meanwhile, Lomachenko can make excuses. I'm not fighting Pacquiao. He's too old. I'm not fighting Teofimo. No belt. He's too green. It's funny how this works. You know, Wilder Fury, same thing. Black guy, white fighter. Wilder he does bad. Then he comes back, almost knocks Tyson Fury out. Tyson Fury, all of a sudden, he gets the Tom Schwartz fight. But Bradley had a controversial fight with Pacquiao. His next fight, he fighting Ruslan Provodnikov and Juan Manuel Marquez and Pacquiao again and Diego Chavez. All tough shit. All tough shit. No recovery time. Ruslan hit Bradley so hard he went cross-eyed. He looked like Wanda from In Living Color. That's how you know if someone got cracks. Bradley was on the ropes cross-eyed. No breaks. Fuck that. Fight Pacquiao again. And then fight Pacquiao again. Fought Pacquiao 3 times. Meanwhile, Lomachenko's not looking so hot. You know, with the Lanadas dropping him and the Pedraza. It didn't look like high-tech Matrix except for in the 11th round. And then he gets Corolla conveniently. And now he'll probably get Luke Campbell, who already tried for a title against Lanadas, a guy Loma beat. And then he'll probably fight for a vacant belt, or Richard Comey. Stop it. We see what's happening. Very easy to see. Triple G gets to fight Steve Rolls. And then they say stuff like, oh, yeah, you blacks just whine and shit. But they're not disproving anything that's being said. Crazy. Anyway, that's my time. New media is killing. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'll be back with some more heat. We working. Smash the like button. Let's just get one last big power surge through the likes.